Snow fell the way old memories do, soft at first, then all at once, burying the world in quiet. Cole Thorne stood alone at his cabin window, watching the storm erase the horizon. The wind pushed against the walls like a tired giant, and the lantern beside him trembled with every gust. Nights like this used to comfort him. Storms kept people away, and solitude had become the only language he trusted. But tonight felt different, restless, as if something out there waited for him to notice it. A faint knock broke the silence. Not a forceful pounding. Not the hurried thud of a traveler desperate for shelter. Just a small, hesitant tap, almost an apology wrapped in sound. Cole stiffened. Visitors in a blizzard were rarely bearers of good news. He crossed the room slowly, boots dragging on the old wooden floor. When he opened the door, the winter wind rushed in first, carrying snowflakes that clung to his beard like silver dust. Then he saw her. A young native woman stood on his threshold, barely more than a silhouette against the storm behind her. Snow clung to her hair, her blanket, her lashes. She looked 22 at most, frostbitten at the edges, breath trembling in the frigid air. Her voice came out soft, careful, as if she feared the wind might snatch it away. "I was told you need a helper." Cole didn't speak. He simply studied her, trying to understand the pieces of a story he hadn't been given. Her hands were red with cold. The bruise near her temple hadn't faded completely. She wasn't here by choice. He knew that before she even stepped inside. He opened the door wider. She moved with the cautious dignity of someone accustomed to being turned away. As she crossed the threshold, she kept her gaze lowered, clutching her thin blanket with both hands. The warmth of the fire hit her, and her shoulders sagged with relief she couldn't hide. "Sit by the stove," Cole said, voice rough from hours of silence. She obeyed without question, sinking onto the small stool near the fire. Cole ladled stew from the pot, handing her a bowl. When she whispered, "Thank you," her voice cracked in the middle, betraying how long it had been since kindness had touched her. After a few moments he asked, "Who told you I needed help?" Her spoon paused. "A woman in the settlement. She heard you lived alone. Said you could use an extra pair of hands." Her eyes flickered up briefly. "I can work. I'm not asking for charity." "I didn't say you were," Cole replied quietly. Her gaze softened with relief. He waited for her to finish eating before he asked anything more. She seemed grateful for the silence between them, the space to catch her breath and gather scattered pieces of herself. "What's your name?" he finally asked. "Naya," she said. "Naya Rivers." Cole nodded, letting the name settle into the room. He didn't press for more, though her bruised cheekbone told plenty. Pain speaks even when the mouth refuses. She helped him wash the dishes after eating, moving with practiced precision. She put things back exactly where she found them, careful not to disturb the rhythm of a home that wasn't hers. That small act, respect in the quiet moments, told Cole more about her than any explanation could. "You don't have to work tonight," he said. Naya shook her head. "It helps me think less." He understood that too well. Morning brought no peace. The snow had slowed, but the world outside remained buried in white. Cole hitched his coat, preparing to fetch feed from the barn, when he noticed Naya already dressed, ready to work without being told. "You sure?" he asked. "I said I can help." So they worked side by side, shoveling paths, clearing the roof edge, checking the horses. Cole noticed how Naya kept glancing toward the distant settlement, fear tightening her jaw whenever she heard far-off voices carried by the wind. She was afraid they would come for her. And she had reason. By late afternoon, as Cole entered the general store for supplies, the whispering began before the door even closed behind him. Conversations paused, then restarted in low tones sharpened by judgment. "Thorne brought home a stray. Those people always bring trouble. Why'd he keep her? A man living alone makes choices." Cole ignored them, choosing his items with deliberate calm. But he heard every word, and so did the storekeeper, who leaned in with an oily smile. "She won't last long here, Cole. Town doesn't take kindly to outsiders." He didn't bother responding. He simply paid and left. When he returned home, he found Naya mending one of his saddle straps with a careful, practiced touch. She didn't look up, but she sensed the shift in him. "They talked, didn't they?" she asked softly. "People always talk," Cole said. "But they don't decide who stays on my land." Naya exhaled shakily. It wasn't quite relief, but something close. For the next few days, the winter trapped them together. Their connection grew not through dramatic declarations but through small, honest moments, Naya adjusting the blankets on the horses, Cole offering her gloves when he noticed her hands shaking, the two of them sharing quiet meals without needing to fill every silence. Yet peace never lasts long on the frontier. The first knock came 3 days after Naya arrived. 4 men from the settlement rode up, faces tight with authority. Cole recognized their leader, an overseer known for twisting stories to suit his purpose. "We're here for the girl," the man said without preamble. "She left her post without permission." Naya stepped out before Cole could stop her, arms crossed tightly to keep them from shaking. "I left because you blamed me for things I didn't cause," she said, her voice steady despite her fear. "I won't go back." "That's not your choice," the overseer snapped. "Cole, we expect cooperation." Cole stepped forward, placing himself between Naya and the riders. "She's staying." "You're making trouble for yourself," the man warned. Cole held his ground. "Then I'll deal with it." The riders left, but the threat hung in the air like thunder waiting for its lightning. That evening, Naya sat near the fire, staring into the flames. "You shouldn't risk this," she whispered. "I don't want to bring danger to your door." Cole leaned against the wall, arms folded, eyes steady on hers. "Danger comes whether we invite it or not. You're safe here." Her lips parted, as if she wanted to say more, but she swallowed the words. She had been denied dignity for so long that receiving it felt foreign. When night fell, snow rose again, angrier, louder, as if warning them both. Then came the second knock. Not a request. Not a conversation. A demand. Voices shouted from outside, circling the cabin. Lanterns glowed in the storm like predatory eyes. "Send her out, Thorn. Last chance." Naya's breath hitched. "Cole, please. Don't get hurt because of me." He loaded his rifle calmly, the barrel gleaming in the firelight. "I've been hurt before. I'm still standing." A rock shattered the window, spraying glass across the floor. The wind howled through the broken frame, whipping the fire into a frantic dance. Cole stepped to the doorway, flung it open, and fired a single warning shot into the sky. The crack echoed across the frozen land, scattering the riders into uneasy silence. "You'll regret this," one of them yelled before retreating into the storm. Cole stood in the doorway long after they disappeared, snow coating his shoulders, breath steaming in the air. Inside, Naya watched him with wide, disbelieving eyes, because no one had ever chosen her safety over their own. When he finally closed the door, she whispered, "Why did you do that?" He didn't look at her right away. He just brushed the snow from his sleeves and let the quiet settle between them. "Because winter's hard enough," he said softly, "without letting good people freeze." The storm outside roared on, but inside, something steadier began to take root, something that would shape the rest of their lives, though neither of them dared name it yet. And as the fire settled into a gentle crackle, the feeling lingered that this night was only the beginning of a larger reckoning, one that would test them, bind them, and ultimately lead them toward a life they had never believed possible. Like, comment, or tell us where you're watching from.